This is the Red Wing 875, and today we'll be discussing what is a Goodyear welt, why is this stitch here, and is the most iconic boot a modified sneaker? That intro reminded me of somebody. Okay, let's talk about the Goodyear welt. This is our Goodyear welt. When the leather is taken and pulled around the last, it is then flared down here and stitched into a leather insole. So, on the boots, you'll see it has leather on the outside and it also has leather on the inside. It is stitched here where it is put in between these two pieces, and then it has a decorative stitch right there on the outside. And that looks very nice, very indicative of a Goodyear welt. I have to take out the trash. Woo, 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 woo. Okay. Oh. Okay. Let's go film. This seems familiar. Okay. So, now that we've talked about the Goodyear welt, it is freezing. I want to talk about something we call a butt stitch. Ka-chow! Butt stitch is essentially a way of making a simplified moccasin. So, as you can... Okay. As you can see here, we have top piece, and we have side piece. There is no bottom piece. So, as we described, this piece of leather just goes up, and then there's a spot where they have, stitching holes or whatever, and then they put a piece of layer on the top that is sewed to the tongue, and that's sewed together here. Now, some people really don't like butt stitches, or this kind of construction, because this is not true moccasin construction. Unlike something like, Russell moccasin, which is not a Goodyear welt, it's a true moccasin construction. This piece of leather, there's maybe a little bit under it, but that's pretty much it. There's nothing under your foot. Like, this whole piece is not under your foot. There's leather under there, but it's not this piece of leather. A true moccasin construction is pretty much how the Indians made their moccasins. Just a piece of leather under your foot sewed to a top piece of leather. So, we've talked about the Goodyear welt and the butt stitch on this boot. Now, to get on to the last point, is this a sneaker? I would say no. Because while the sole is very squishy, it is very comfortable, and I've even heard that it wears down a lot. To give you some background, Red Wing developed the sole in the 60s, I believe 1967, because this boot was originally a hunting boot. This was originally the Irish Setter, right? Not the Iron Ranger, which I do despise. So, you gotta think, this was, revolutionary, because they didn't really have, this was an idea. This was before Vibram developed this sole. I forget what they called it, but, it's just a very squishy sole, and it's meant for duck hunters. And, while a lot of people, some people, like sneakers, even in the heritage style space, like the Adidas Samba, I know Iron Snail really likes those, but personally, I feel like wearing a boot that's over your ankle is kind of a lost art, and not Timberlands that you don't tie, an actual boot, nice quality, good leather. So no, I wouldn't say it's a sneaker, because it's just got so much more meaning than that. I feel like it's just amazing starter boot. This was my first heritage boot. Is my first. I don't have any more, really. And I've had it for 3 months. It's got some scuffs, scratches, beautiful patina, and if you don't want your boots to get scratched, then don't buy boots. um, and there's only one thing that's a little bit concerning to me. So if you look right here, or if you look right here on these boots, there's a little spot where the mock toe, the actual moccasin part, is starting to gap, and I'm a little concerned. I believe it's only glue, but I'm just kind of hoping, I don't think it will. It won't end up kind of like these, which are not as high quality, much thinner leather, like wallet leather if you're a leather worker. And there you can kind of see some of the like fabric or whatever kind of filler they put on the back. So you can see on the back it's like kind of fake leather, and then on the front it's like the thinnest ever part of actual leather. So they are loafers, so I'm not a big loafer guy. I feel like a lot of them are ugly. Those are acceptable. But to round out my review, you know, the night before I was gonna buy these, I was thinking about buying them. I was thinking about it. I'm like, man, $300 is a lot. I was used to like buying $100 sneakers every year, right? So I was like, man, I don't know. You know, I was deciding between Thurgood and these. Like when I was first thinking about it, and then I was like, okay, you know what? I have these in my head, and I remember I would whenever I had free time, I would just look at them. Like I would just go on the Red Wing website. I would just scroll through the pictures, at school or whatever, and then the night before I was gonna buy these, I saw the 1,000 Mile, and I was like, man, this is such a cool boot. And I thought about it. I pondered. I really thought, and I'm like, you know what? If I really, I'm gonna get this first, and then maybe I'll get the 1,000 Mile, because I have a Red Wing store like right next to me, right down the road. So I'm really happy I did that, because I watched the Rosanville video, and I guess not Iron Rangers, despise those. The 1,000 Mile, I guess it's just not a good boot. It's just synthetic and trash and like cheap quality, which makes me kind of sad because I really like that look, this service boot look. But I feel like this is such a classic boot. I feel this is like the one boot I think every single person should have. This or the 877, which is just a little taller. But I think this is more like the classic model, which I like more. If you're hunting, maybe get the 877. But this is just the start to a beautiful wardrobe. This is like, this is like a good timepiece, Good timepiece. It's going to be comfortable on your wrist. It's going to tell you time. You're never going to have to change the battery or, whatever. It's just reliable, Or like a gun. It's reliable like a gun. It's an investment, as Carl Morowski likes to say. And these are just the start to something beautiful. I think I'm going to end it off there. It's pretty deep. So, thanks guys for watching. Like, subscribe. Man, have a good day. God bless.